Okay, so this is going to be episode 1.1 of SimAirport. If you caught the first stream, it was a 2-hour stream in terms of how we set out with a plan for this airport and how we executed that to how we actually got to this point here. We've done 1 day of actual live flights, all went according to plan. But now we are going to start populating some of the areas of the airfield and putting in more flights. And then what we're going to do is we're going to start to load the gates gate by gate. We're going to continue research, we're going to build additional roads into the airfield. So let's give you an overview. We're going to do some research, add a road, bring that road around, back out. We're going to have the drop-offs area here. And then we're going to close this area off, expand the size of security. We're going to populate the kitchen area, populate the cafe area with tables and chairs, and the kitchen area with refrigerators and cooking equipment. We're then going to populate this area with some restrooms, and then we're going to see if we can work on how we disembark passengers from aircraft and bring them down through these areas here out to baggage claim, whilst also looking to lay down some carpets. We need to address the queuing as well for this gate here, so we need to get some staff onto this gate and assign the gates and staff. Then what we'll be doing is we'll be running the road further down here, in through this section and around, where we will then also have garbage and all that good stuff situated down here. And we're just going to increase the efficiency and just optimize the entire place. We're currently 4.6 million in debt. I would foresee that certainly for the next few episodes, despite us having active operations in the airfield, that actually we're going to get further and further into debt as we add more and more assets into the game, so tables, chairs, kitchens. We do some more road building. You know, it's going to cost us a bit more money as we do that, but eventually what's going to happen, that negative balance is slowly going to get chipped away, and we're going to move ourselves into a positive balance. So if you haven't seen how this has come about from a planning phase, so how it was all drawn out and how we filled it in so far, I really suggest you go back and you watch that live stream I did. That was essentially episode 1, but we're now at episode, I'll call it episode 2, but really I suppose this is just episode 1, because now we're beginning to do video and we're going to see the game in action. Okay, so I suppose that's kind of like a pre-episode 1. It's like a, you know, Star Wars episodes 1 to 3 rather than episode 4 was originally a New Hope episode 1, if you kind of get me. A prequel. Anyway, so there we go. So we shall, for the moment, we are going to put into the offices, we're going to put in a COO and a CFO into the offices, so let's do that now. We've got a CFO, we pop him or her in an office, and a COO. Excellent. Right, now then, next. Let's have a look at the research. So we want to investigate bank loans, we want to look at pricing, and we want to look at road building. Okay, currently the pricing we have is fixed at 400 for every time the runway is used by an airliner, and then for every passenger we get $10. What we want to do is we want to increase that $10, and we also want to increase the runway pricing as well. Schedule wise, let's have a look at what the schedule looks like. So this is how it currently looks. Very few flights in or out of the airfield at the minute, and if you look at the timer, currently we're paused as well, so we're not actually doing anything in game at this moment. But eventually what I'm going to do is start loading it up with flights going into gate 1, loading them until we've got to a point where, you know, it's working efficiently and effectively. And then we'll start with gate 2, gate 3, all the way through to gate 10. Gates 9 and gate 10 are extra large gates, so we're probably going to save those till last, and we're probably only going to put 3 flights on each of those anyway, because they need a hell of a long time for the turnaround time. So for each of those we're going to have 1 in the morning, 1 in the afternoon, 1 in the evening, and then for each of the other gates I would imagine that we're going to maybe allocate 3 hours per flight, so 3 hours on the ground time per flight, and then we will start to fill up the slots as we go. We've only got 1 runway, so we need to be mindful of how the runway operations will happen, how they take place. We don't want to overload the runways, like 4 flights all scheduled to come in, for example, at 2 PM, because the runway can't have 4 flights all land simultaneously, as well as those flights which might also be scheduled to depart at the same time. So we just need to be very mindful of that, and if we do need to add a runway later on, then we'll take a look at that and maybe make some changes to other areas of the airfield. I'm not sure where we would make changes, to be fair, but we'll see. Anyway, we'll see what we need to do for those kinds of runway operations. So just to clarify, we have now selected researching to be done, which is good. We currently have 100 workmen stood idly by, just waiting for the moment for instruction, so we're going to give them some instruction shortly. We currently have 32 staff situated in the ticketing areas as well as on the gates. We have 20 security staff currently in this area here. Some of them you can just see. Security wise, we're using metal detectors. In fact, I'm just going to stick another one there, and there. 23, okay. And janitors, we have 20, helping keep the airfield clean. So let's have a look at how passenger satisfaction is at the moment. So this is effectively going to be our second day of operations in a moment. We have 1 passenger, 1 current passenger status. I don't know what that means, that's 1 passenger or not. Anyway, everything's looking pretty good at the minute. We've got hunger, we need rest, we've got frustration, we need toilets, but the environment's clean. No boredom, cleanliness is good. So we just need to look at these figures at the lower section where they score low, where the scores are low. I need to address those. Airline interest currently is we've got airlines now wanting to drop flights into our schedule. For now I'm not going to have that happen, just for now. I'm just going to keep it as it is, just while we continue to improve the infrastructure of what we currently have in the airfield. So I'm just going to press play, and we will let that just go through. So which flooring is this? It's kind of a carpet number 2 scenario here, so let me select carpet number 2, like so. Brilliant. And then this is that carpet. Back to carpet number 2. And fill all of this in with carpet, because this will take these guys all day to do the carpets, no doubt. So let's just get the airfield looking somewhat uniform all throughout. There is a theorem called Parkinson's theorem. And what Parkinson's theorem is, it talks about how people like to feel involved in ideas and thoughts, and like to be referred to in terms of their expert opinion. I mean, really, at the end of the day, it's just a theorem, and it happens a lot in business. And and Parkinson's theorem, one of them is nicknamed Parkinson's shed. I think it's his second theorem, which is if you got a committee of people together and you told them you were building bicycle sheds, that everybody as a part of that committee would each personally feel that they had something to add in terms of value for the conversation, in terms of materials to be used, in terms of the colours, in terms of the shapes, the contours, functionality. Everybody feels that they would have something to say and some value to add in that kind of conversation. And yet if you took that same committee of people and instead upscaled the project from the implementation of a bicycle shed at an organisation to the construction of a nuclear reactor, that people feel less able to articulate an opinion or express a particular mindset in terms of what it should look like, what it feels, what it should be made of. So I've noticed quite a lot of these YouTube videos where people say, tell me what colour should I do the carpet, tell me how should I lay this out. I didn't do that from the get-go on this, and maybe I need to not consider it so much as a nuclear reactor, but let everybody have their say as part of the committee, and you guys being the committee per se. So if you don't have ideas and any thoughts in terms of what we need to be doing for construction, and whether we need to change how the carpeting works, then stick some comments down below in the comment section, and let's see if we can do something, a bit of a community-driven thing. Okay, so these guys are actually doing the carpeting for the main area. What I'm going to do, I'm going to also now put some carpeting down for the cafe. And so this is going to be the external part of the cafe, and I want a typical kitchen floor, a linoleum style flooring here for the kitchen, so we'll get the construction for that underway as well. So let's just get rid of that carpet there for the moment, and I want to do toilets, and let's put some toilets in situ here as well. Now I'm also well aware that I've not placed any doors, but we'll deal with that. In fact, let me deal with the doors now actually, because the door placement is important. So if I use a door here and a door here, I'll demolish that side, dismantle that. We'll relocate that later. Okay, so what we shall do is rotate that toilet. I don't have an appropriate gap there. Sinks. 1, 2. 1, 2. And we'll also put some walls in there as well. So they just have that cubicle feeling going on, and give people a sense of privacy per se. What we do need is garbage bins. We're not going to stick a dumpster in there. I don't see the value in adding a dumpster. There we go. Yeah, okay, we'll leave that at that for the minute. We can address any hygiene and cleanliness issues with that as we progress with this build. Okay, so that's going to keep going on there. Let's take a look at this flooring for this section here, because it did take us a while to get to a point where we were able to do something in terms of laying this flooring down. So I reckon the construction that was underway at the time had prevented the construction of this right, good. You'll notice on these big gates I've got four people assigned to these gates. So while I'm actually looking at this, let me address I'm going to go to the menu, I'm going to go to preferences. How do I make the screen text bigger? I did actually change the screen text somehow, the UI. UI scale 50%, if I go back to 75%, there we go. So you can actually see what I'm doing on screen. When I did the stream last night, I became concerned maybe you didn't see what was happening. So we're going to assign this first gate to this. Do you know what? The UI is still small, isn't it? Okay, 100. Okay, brilliant. Okay, let's close that now. Assign, close. Brilliant. Okay, I'm going to do that again now. So here we go. I'm going to assign this gate to this one here. Excellent. And I'm going to click back on the... I can't click on the gate agent's desk because I haven't done any queues. So let me do a queue. Okay, we're going to start the queue here and then shrink that queue because I didn't do that queue right. Let's try that again. And then do it down here, and then we're going to utilise the full line length. Okay, and I'm just going to continue to bring it down a touch more there. Okay. I don't know if that's going to be an appropriate length for the number of people, let's say for a 787 or for a A380, but we can adjust the queue length, that's not a problem. We also need a second queue, which will be our first class queue, and we shall grow that also. There we go. Brilliant. So let's just shut them queues down, and what I'll do is I'm going to assign that gate to this gate A9. We're going to make this a first class queue, and we're going to assign it to this desk. And then we shall assign that queue to coach, and I'll also assign it to that desk. Brilliant. And then close that gate desk. Let's go back to this one. I'm going to assign that one and that one. So there we go. We're going to assign that desk to this gate, and again assign coach and assign first class. Assign to this gate, and again we're going to assign it to first class. And we need some staff. So if I drop down 1, 2. Brilliant. So essentially all 4 staff at this gate will do coach and first class passengers, and we've got 4 people loading people onto A380s, 777s, all of that, hopefully all within good time. Let me check these gates. Assigned to, well, he's assigned only to that one, so let's just close that. Assigned to both gates. Assigned to both gates. And assigned only to one gate, so we're going to assign them to this one as well and close. Excellent. Okay, so now we've got all of the airline gates appropriately assigned, which is really, really good. Looks like all the construction we had asked to take place has now taken place. Let's have a look at these toilets. So there we go, you come in, we've got bins and private cubicles for people to utilise and 2 sinks. So we'll see what happens with that. The clock is still going. It's 6 o'clock in the morning. Have we had any flights yet? Let's have a look at our schedule. Pacific Airlines, 4 AM. Status. It came in and it departed on time. Okay, brilliant. Okay, let's have a look at the research. We've completed finance, we've completed operations, queued for road building, and queued for research in terms of pricing. So bank loans is currently underway. Not particularly bothered about that right now, we've got very deep pockets. All of these baggage carousels are assigned, which is good. Okay, now then. Objects. I want to pop a security gate here, here, and here. So to prevent people who are disembarking from coming out this way and going out through them gates, what I want for them is to come out and follow the blue carpet to the exit. Over to our baggage claim and then out through the pickup zone. This one here, this is going to be a little bit more tricky, and I think at the end of the stream yesterday I was considering opening this section here for these passengers who are going to disembark to come out and then cut across here, because they are just going to disembark from this gate and then move through the terminal and then down that way. And the same probably for these passengers. If they had a route here to get a way to get through, they would probably take it, to be fair, wouldn't they? So I'm going to try and clear that section there, and I'm going to have that sign dismantled. And what I also want to do is put some decorative bushes at the ends here. One, two, three. 1, 2, 3. Now the fact that that actually ended up that way is more luck than anything there. That was not planned in any way, shape or form. That was just pure luck. And you know, same again, if it happens just to wind up neatly at this side of things. 1, 2, 3. I'm not bothered about that extra gap in the wall there, that's perfectly fine. No issues with that. Okay, so So the cafe tables, oh, just the cafe tables. Okay, chair 1, 2. Okay, what time? 9:32. I don't think we've got any flights due in actually until noon, which is interesting. Oh, today's is cancel that one, we want it there, don't we? Now I could do this in a different way and just basically have long rows of chairs this way, tables in between, and a long row of long row of chairs along the top, and just have it Game of Thrones bench style, you know, as if you were at the wall in the castle. But I'm just going to make it a lot more customer journey and user friendly. And we want this to be a nice area where, you know, people can relax. Decorative bush, how big is that? Okay, excellent. We're going to continue just to add some bushes along this wall. Brilliant. Okay, now then, cash registers. I need to zoom in on this. I want these to be orientated the correct way. Okay, so that's facing the staff person. That's facing away from the customer, which feels appropriate. Let me go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, and then we're going to go with decorative bush, and then we shall create, oh dearie me, cancel that, something like this. Where we can build a queue. Expand queue. Okay, excellent. And we shall do it like this. Brilliant. And we shall get some more tables and chairs. Let me get the tables first. These might not sit as symmetrically and as comfortably as previous ones. In fact, I don't want to do that yet. What I want to do right now is consider flight info. So I'm going to pop that there, one here, and then rotate it around. Can't really give any reason for people to be missing their flights while sat in the cafe. I don't think anybody would want that. So let's make sure we've got flight displays somewhere in this cafe region. 1, 2, 3, 4, like that, there we go. Okay, and we'll put the kitchen equipment in there very, very shortly. Okay, retail staff use this machine to pull soft drinks. Thirsty passengers like soft drinks. You earn money for each transaction too. So there we go, we've got 1 drinks machine, 2 drinks machines, 3 drinks machines. Well, let's make it 4 drinks machines. There we go, we need a door. We'll just go for a regular sliding door, small commercial grade yet cost effective door, not too big, not too small. That's good. Okay. Now then, let's go with kitchen, and we're definitely going to need prep carts. So I'm going to do 10 prep carts here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that's going to be the same number as we have number of tills. Refrigerators, we shall pop 1, 2, 3, 4 refrigerators. A pizza oven, perfect, 2. Okay, what else do we need? Garbage bin or kitchen sink is vitally important, is it not? So let's get a kitchen sink in there as well. Fit 3 kitchen sinks. We definitely need garbage bins. There we go. And here as well, I feel it's going to be important. I would also like to stick some garbage bins here as well, I think, just for the just to the benefit of keeping the place tidy. That might actually be too many garbage bins. Okay, refrigerator, check, we've got that. Prep cart, 10, we have those. Pizza ovens, yep, check, we have those. Kitchen storage, we need an abundance of kitchen storage. And what I'm doing is just rotate that around using the R key. There we go. Kitchen sinks, check, we have those. Electronics vending, yes, we already have that. A cooker, well, no kitchen is complete without a cooker. Okay, so that's the back of the cooker. 1, 2, 3, 4. A coffee maker. I need to zoom in on this, I can't see which way it is. That facing us? That's the back of it, brilliant, okay. Okay, brilliant. And now ATM machines. What I'm going to do is just rotate those around there. £5 per transaction, so it's actually worthwhile just even having ATM machines situated in a handy place. So I'm actually just going to put some here as well. $5 per transaction. That's not a figure to be scoffed at, really. So where are these people going to or coming from? Okay, we've got a big plane at the gate there. That just completely... Okay, queue starts in 12 minutes. We've got approximately just above half of the people in the queue right now. So we're looking good. We've got a passenger moving to this gate now, so that's interesting. So we should be expecting a plane shortly in here. We do have 2 planes in here. Fantastic. Customer satisfaction is needs rest, needs hunger, needs frustration. an environment. So there are lots of needs for things happening and going on. Let's have a look at the airline status. Have we had any cancellations as yet? Departed, departing, got 2 at gate 1's taxiing, some en route. Okay, looking good. Okay, we've got a third of the passengers boarded at the moment, with an hour and a half left. And we have approximately half of the passengers in the queue as well, which is really good. This Aerostar 777, when was it supposed to leave? Aerostar 1:30, 2 o'clock. What time are we on now? Yeah, so with these bigger planes, you've got to really allocate, 4 or 5 hours for these to be boarding. 5 hours, I think, is about right. It feels about right given their on the ground time. Yeah, we do well not to overload these large gates, because 2 hours isn't long enough on the ground according to the schedule here. Okay, so airport is operating what appears to be at the minute smoothly. People are moving and flowing through the airport fine. They are coming up out of this gate, walking around the terminal here. So I think what I'm going to do, and it might be foolhardy to a degree, but I'm going to do a Donald Trump and I'm going to build a wall. Sorry to say it, but I'm going to build the wall here, so that people see and recognise this area here. I just want people to come out of the gate, go straight down these corridors here. That's what I would like, is just for people to use these areas. Right. So we've got hunger, so I need to get this kitchen operational really as soon as possible. Is there anything I've missed as part of this kitchen? See, I look at that cafe table now. I don't know if it's going to make that much difference which table I've used, but I need to keep an eye on it. So put your comments down below if you think that the type of table being used is going to impact the utilisation of this cafeteria and how much money we make from it. Okay, so I'm going to assign to any passengers. I'm going to assign it to this queue here. Brilliant. Assign to any passengers, and that kitchen is only that kitchen. Assign to, assigned, close. There begs a question where you could have different styles of kitchens, different food types, like a sandwich shop or a burger bar, or and you have the ability or the capability to assign one till to serve many types of different passengers and food types, like in a big mass, cafeteria area. You might find in some malls. Assign to, assign close. Yeah, there's no staff. I wasn't planning on you guys being quite so quick. 10, lovely. Okay. It's only a short-term problem, customers. Assign to any passengers, assign to the kitchen. You assign to, Assigned to the kitchen. Any passengers? Assigned to, yep, okay, so we've got now a functioning cafeteria. Do I need more janitors? I'm going to stick 10 more janitors in situ. Eventually, as we stop doing building work, I'm going to reduce the number of builders. I currently have 100 workmen. I don't need maybe 100 now, but for the moment I'm just going to keep it as it is. I'm comfortable. And I've still got plans and designs. There you go. These people have disembarked from this flight and now making their way this way, which is perfect. Brilliant. Brilliant. Okay, now then. I have 3 hangars and I've assigned multiple baggage cars, so that's good. Let's go to some of these reports now. Let's go to secure areas. So ticketing is exactly what we expected it to be. And then baggage claim. So no surprises there, and the rest of the airfield is completely secure, which is brilliant. Now when we build these roads in here, we need to put gates, and we need to reduce the security back here, so we need to make an adjustment. We're then going to seal off this wall as we open this one, and then take security back up here. Okay, environment heat map. This is the area where there's trees and decorations, and it just helps passengers relax a lot more. And it also shows you dirt and grime as well, so you can see that the toilets have a large accumulation of dirt and grime. We also have 20 or 30 janitors also working constantly to keep the area clean, so hopefully they're staying on top of that. We are going to drop some more plants and stuff down into these areas, but for now we're okay. Information wise, you know, where we're finding passengers orientating, we're finding information boards. We could do with more ticketing, back of ticketing area, this side of the kitchen, and all around this waiting area here. Could do with more information being broadcast, as well as a couple, maybe one on each line, so passengers are aware of what's happening. Yeah, okay, so we've got some key areas there, key things that we need to address. We're still on today, so let's do some of that now. Okay, decorative plant. Okay, we'll stick those down now. I'm just going to rotate that sign as well around there. So we have that one there, rotate. There, 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 here, and here. Okay, ticketing wise, we've not allocated a queue for this ticketing. We've not allocated first class queues, we've not allocated anything in terms of ticketing. However, at the minute it's not causing us any problems. Everybody's being processed fine, they're going through fine. We've got no challenges with that, so I'm not going to really address that. I'm just going to leave that as it is for now. I'm just going to put some informational stuff here. I've got to sort this queuing area out, but I'm not going to do it today. And then swing it around and then pop them there. So nobody's missing flights. And if I zoom in here, we are going to go with some vending here. So we're going to cancel that project. There we go. Food vending. We need ATMs. Okay, we're coming up to the end of the day. All flights seem to be running well. Let's have a look at our research. So we've completed loans, we've completed finance, we've completed operations, and currently the pricing research is in progress, so that probably won't complete until the end of tomorrow. So yeah, we're looking good. Are we expecting any more arrivals now? Nope, none at all. That's it for the schedule for today. Just everybody that's on the ground. So this'll go, then that one, and then that one. So we've done well in this episode. Good. 50% of the people in line. Queue, the boarding hasn't begun yet. This one, boarding starts in an hour, and well, we're okay for the minute. We've not got everybody we need in the queue at the moment, but there you go. This exit path leading to the baggage claim area seems to be working nicely for the moment. People are using it, utilising it better than they were before, so I'm happy about that. I feel that I may need to look at this restroom. It's not really working well for us at the moment. Probably need to relocate it or expand it. And this one, it's working, that's fine. In fact, I could maybe add a restroom to this area here, or make the whole this area a big restroom, which is an option. is an option. Okay, one is electronics vending, one is food vending. What was that kind of vending? And I was just... Right, food vending, flight info display. I'm completely confused now. So we want to put this in high throughput areas. And the more the passengers are spending, the more money we're making. So we'll continue with that anyway. Okay, let's look at the dumpsters, by the way. How are we doing for rubbish? Oh, we're doing okay. It's not out in the streets, is it? We've not got a huge backlog of traffic either. It's not uncommon that you get huge backlogs of traffic. We seem to be fine with the traffic at the moment. That seems to be working well. In fact, it seems to be working far better than I anticipated, to be fair. But bearing in mind we do have very few flights coming in at the moment. Capacity wise, we've probably got about 1,000 people coming in a day. You know, so let's just have a look at that. You know, 19. I really need to shrink these down. There is a method of expanding. I think it's just in the bottom corner, is it? I don't know how you extend. Is it right click and drag? There is a method that you are able to extend the time on the ground by. You can make this bar bigger. I'm not sure how you do it. Do not remove it. Okay, I'll find out how we actually make that bigger. Yeah, we're doing okay at the minute. We probably do need to add a few flights in, to be fair. We do have interest from other airlines. Galactic Point is one that's probably going to take up one of our gates. We're going to keep their interest where it is. I want to get to the point where I can adjust for pricing, and then we'll probably take a hit on the airlines. Then once we've taken the hit, then I'm going to start bringing more and more airlines on board, for those that actually want to stay and pay for the price. You know. And then that's when our interest is going to go up, as we start bringing in more and more passengers as well. Currently our satisfaction sits at 77, needs rest 37, 36 passenger satisfaction. So they need rest. I don't know from what or why, but yeah. So that's our last flight departing. We've done quite a bit actually in this episode. I'm really pleased. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. Please feel free to put your comments down below. We shall stop it here, and our next episode we will move on to our next day. I think what we need to do, let's have a look at the research. Once we've got the pricing in place and the road building, so tomorrow pricing, add in some more flights. We're going to look at these restrooms. They're not causing us too much problems, but let's have a look at those anyway. We need to start looking at maybe putting some tables, chairs and benches in and around these areas. In fact, I'll probably do that as a priority with the next video. Stick some more seating and greenery and stuff all down these areas, beautify it, give people places where they can sit and rest and wait for their flights. There isn't a lot of space in these areas, so we'll just need to be very clever about how we go about utilising this space and filling it with information, filling it with decorative bushes and stuff. So, but there you go, it's 5 past midnight according to this clock. We're going to pause the clock there. And I will see you in the next video. Don't forget to like it, don't forget to subscribe, and we'll see you soon. Thanks a lot.